What's your Achilles heel? An Achilles heel is a weakness or a vulnerability that can finish off someone. It can spell the downfall of somebody. Everyone and everything has got an Achilles heel, including superheroes. Superman, his Achilles heel was the kryptonite. Sherlock Holmes, his Achilles heel were his addictions. James Bond, you know his Achilles heel, I know his Achilles heel, so let's not go there. Achilles heel is usually associated with strong personalities. And it started with the invincible Greek warrior Achilles, who was dipped into river Styx by his mother when he was an infant to make him immortal. But then she held him by his heel upside down, so his whole body got immersed except his heel, and that became his weakest point. So during the Trojan War, you must have read about it in school, the Trojan horse. So in the Trojan War, he was shot at by an arrow at his heel to finish him off. People, organizations, and even countries all have their Achilles heel. Take people. There are a few people who are unafraid of facing death. But when it comes to going to a dentist, they start shivering, they start sweating. Then there is the CEO, this very tough CEO of a very big organization who I know personally, who jumps onto a table every time he sees a small cockroach. You must have heard of Tiger Woods, that renowned golfer. His Achilles heel was his infidelity. Lance Armstrong, if ever there was a wizard in cycling, of cycling, that must have been Lance Armstrong. But then his penchant for doping finished him. That was his Achilles heel. Organizations, you must have heard of Blockbuster, one of the biggest players in the entertainment industry with several verticals connected to entertainment. They had chains of shops renting and selling DVDs and games, and they also had several movie theaters, and they were producing films and so on and so forth. But their inability to get into online streaming made them bankrupt. People like Netflix swamped them. Toys R Us, the biggest toy retail chain in the world, they were unwilling to get into e-commerce. And in the seesaw battles in the business field, people like Amazon, who were into e-commerce, they went up and this one went down. Toys R Us went down, they disappeared. Even countries, right from A for America to Z for Zimbabwe, every one of them has an Achilles heel. But I'm not going to get into that. I'm not going to share that with you because I don't want to be hunted by the Secret Service for the rest of my life. That's for you to find out. But the point is, the irony of Achilles heel is, it is not some major weakness in a person. It's a small chink in the armor. It's a small gap in the tough exterior. So if you actually find out what your Achilles heel is, that will cease to be a weakness after that. Which is why I started by asking you, what's your Achilles heel? So next time, don't ask yourself, what are my strengths? Ask yourself, what's my Achilles heel? Because if you know the answer to that, that could turn out to be your greatest strength.